I just want to give you some
In this
feedback.
negotiation video, Romello will attempt.
You know, on your negotiation here, I went through it twice or so, and first of all, I have to give you credit for writing a proper script. I thought this was a good script. Maybe it's also my mistake in the sense that I emphasized that you can script it too much so that it comes across not that natural. I think, you know, sometimes if you just, you know, read the script and then just play the game, just throw it away and just chat with each other and talk and play as if it's real, it's often, you know, it comes across much more natural. In this case, by the way, not that it's that unnatural. People often nowadays apply for jobs, and before they get the job, people still have first have Zoom meetings with them. So this is quite a common thing that happens here. When you do that, I think it's very important that the perception, the first impression is crucial here. For example, Jason would normally, you know, if you apply for a job, you would set up your room with all your certificates behind you. You'll dress very professional in terms of the job you want to get. And of course, you will act maybe totally different than you act in this case. You'll be very enthusiastic and all of that, you know. Then you, of course, very tough, you know, these three ladies gave you a bit of a tough time. By asking you some tough questions. But in the beginning, I just want you to look at this. Here you start off.
Obtain a higher salary from the Tifton, Georgia distribution center. Tifton's initial offer was $60,000 a year, but he received a higher offer of $65,000 a year from Mansfield, Texas. He currently resides in Florida with his wife and one-year-old daughter. Romello has reached to the HR team at Tifton, Georgia location in hopes to have a follow-up meeting after his interview where the salary can be negotiated. He believes his skill would allow him a higher salary for the position than what they previously offered.
Hi, I really appreciate you guys meeting with me again to discuss this job offer. I was extremely impressed with the efficiency of your facility.
We were excited to hear from you. We're looking forward to trying to come to an agreement. Have you considered our offer?
Okay. One would expect you, you know, I thought Jason started very well here by saying, by starting with a compliment. I think a compliment is often good and reciprocated often, and to create the right climate. But you decided to bypass climate and just jump right into the price issue, which is kind of tricky because now you go right into issues before you've actually created the right climate onto which you're going to discuss these issues. Okay, let's see what happens next.
We previously discussed in our conversation, I've applied with multiple locations and have narrowed it down to 2 locations. Me and my family love the Tifton area. However, Mansfield is offering a better salary at this time.
We'd love to discuss any options that would help make a transfer to our Tifton location your primary choice. What Mansfield offering?
Okay. I think in all, even this kind of negotiation, one would expect, it's a little bit like interrogation, but one would expect a lot of questions, and it's good to ask a lot of questions of common ground, questions on the side of Jason here. We're saying, would it, you know, when you agree, would you agree that this is important for you to get someone with the right skills and someone with the right attitude and someone who's got a future and can have a future with the company rather than just talk about price alone, because there could be other things with more value than just price. I mean, you're just looking at the salary every month, but there could be other benefits like profit sharing benefits, share benefits, you know, medical benefits, housing benefits. I don't know, other benefits that you can also negotiate for. But you want to really be part of the team and you want to make a contribution, and whether your contribution will also be rewarded. So think a little bit outside the box here. That often I sometimes talk about the violation of expectation technique. In other words, violate the expectations, but they expect you to act like maybe you're acting now, and then they kind of prepared for that. But if you can come a little bit outside the box, they often are not prepared, which is a very good persuasive technique.
Right now, Mansfield is offering $65,000, and my wife would make a lot more money teaching in the Mansfield area. We would need an offering of $85,000 to make Tifton location work for my family.
Okay, you know, one again can think, how can I put the same statement, because these are all statements, and I try and move 80% of all your communication to questions in this kind of negotiation. So how could he have said the same thing in terms of question? Okay, how can you help my wife? Is there a way that you can maybe assist me? Because if she can get a proper job, proper salary, surely this becomes a more negotiable situation.
We understand your position completely, but this is outside of our budget for this position. Are you aware that the cost of living in our area is significantly lower than most cities across the U.S.?
Okay, that's a good question.
62,000 at this time.
Would you consider a salary of $80,000 in addition to funding?
Okay, now you know, it becomes clear bargaining here, and in fact, what is also quite obvious is that there's some difference between these people that interview Jason here. The three ladies, Jacque and Samantha and Sam, they seem to differ a little bit. All right, one is very strict and says, look, they're offering 60. Now you come with a little bit of a concession to make it 62. So maybe I'm thinking how you could have used the differences amongst them and talk to each one individually, Jason, to get a bit of a concession here. Because you obviously have some people that are a little bit more willing to make concessions to get you to work for the company.
The relocation costs up to $5,000.
We will consider the relocation costs. However, we can only offer $65,000 a year as our final offer.
As we previously discussed, I feel that I bring the necessary skills and more that are needed to fill this position.
Okay, right. Look, I understand that Jason is reading from a script here, but I would like to have a little bit more enthusiasm. Not only that, maybe use the names of people. You know, names are so important. People often bypass the importance of names. Get names, say, call them by the name. Say, Sam, how important do you regard skills in this job? I mean, I have the right skills, and come across with a little bit more enthusiasm. Because I'm really keen to join your company. You have everything that I really desire in a working environment. So also to get them a little bit in a positive frame of mind.
And deserve to be paid at a salary of $80,000. It would be nice to get this position filled, would it not?
We're definitely impressed with the experience.
Okay, there's the first question, and that question is good. It almost comes in a form of some almost like the formula I gave you, and the Bales, like a few statements on opinion and suggestions. They would it not, and so, but then just use a name. Say Samantha, target one of them, or Sam. Don't you agree? And then you can often get some disagreement amongst the three, because three people seldom agree on anything.
Are eager to fill a position. However, we can only allocate $65,000 a year to fill this position.
Is this something you're willing to consider?
I appreciate the fact that you guys are willing to work with me. I'll have to speak with my wife so that I can make sure that this is our best option for our family. I will get back to you by the end of the week.
We look forward to hearing from you.
Okay, right. It's kind of, you know, we don't know what's going to happen. There's still a big gap, 65 and 80. But I was wondering how you could have maybe narrowed the gap already here. When someone says, I'm going to talk to my wife, you know, I'm not so sure that's the best message he's sending you. And I was wondering if you could have also given him some options and say, look, you know, yes, you may be starting at 65, but we have this kind of program or that kind of program that quickly escalate your salary to another level, or some profit sharing, or some bonus scheme, or something. And we're going to assist your wife, and we're going to help you with the kids, or something like that, so that he could maybe be persuaded. And the job environment, there are lots of things you can add here. Job interviews are intricate. Sometimes people decide on small things, why they want a certain people, and they're willing to make definitely 15. What you could have said is also, what is separating us? 15,000? For someone who can make more than 80,000 difference in your job, in your profit margin, or your bottom line. So there's so much into interviews. I've written an article on interviewing techniques. If you want to go to my WordPress articles that I've written, just go to WordPress, put my name in there. There's one on interviewing techniques, which tells you exactly what you should do and what you should not do when interviewing, which is very detailed type of negotiation. Thank you, guys. I think well done. Interesting. All right, lots of stuff to talk about. I wish I could spend more time on this. And it's great to see you all, making such a great effort here. Thanks a lot.